Have you ever caught yourself wondering, what will I regret when I'm older? What if you could see those regrets coming and sidestep them before they leave a lasting mark? Life after 50 often brings a moment of reflection, and it's when many start to realize the missed opportunities, overlooked relationships, and poor choices that shaped their later years. But here's the good news. You don't have to wait until it's too late. By learning from the most common regrets others face, you can course-correct your own path now. Personally, I believe there's incredible wisdom in reflecting on the regrets of those who've already walked the road ahead of us. It's one of the most powerful ways to shape a future that's full of purpose and fulfillment. In this video, we'll explore the biggest regrets people face after 50, and, more importantly, how you can take action today to avoid those same pitfalls. Regret #1. Not prioritizing health early enough. In the fleeting moments of our lives, we are often consumed by distractions, work, responsibilities, and the constant pull of the external world. We give our attention to things we believe to be urgent, yet, so often, we neglect the one thing that carries us through all of it: our body, our health. As Stoics, we must recognize the truth. To live well, we must live in harmony with nature, and that includes caring for the vessel we have been given. Think for a moment. How many people do you know who look back after 50 and wish they had been more mindful of their health? How many now face illness or the loss of mobility, realizing too late that they ignored the signs their bodies were giving them? This is a regret so many bear, a regret that need not be yours. Let us remember that the body and mind are inseparable in our pursuit of wisdom and virtue. The health of one reflects the strength of the other. To allow the body to weaken from neglect is to cloud the clarity of the mind. We cannot be fully present in this world if we are weighed down by the consequences of our past indifference to our health. But know this: the moment of awakening is now. The choices you make today are within your control, and they will shape the life you lead tomorrow. A walk in the morning sun, the mindful act of nourishing yourself with whole foods, and the commitment to listening to the signals your body sends you. These are not trivial acts. They are acts of courage, of wisdom, of love for oneself. Gandhi wisely reminds us, it is health that is real wealth, and not pieces of gold and silver. What value is there in success, in material gain, if your body is not strong enough to carry you into the future? Health is the foundation upon which all else is built. Without it, the rest crumbles. So, reflect deeply and act. Each breath, each step, each healthy choice is a statement to the universe: I will not squander this gift of life. Prioritize your health now, and you will find strength, clarity, and peace as your lifelong companions. And remember, it is never too late to begin. The Stoic knows that the past is beyond control, but the present moment is yours to shape. While prioritizing our health lays the foundation for a life of strength and vitality, there's another crucial element we often overlook in our pursuit of success: the time we devote to work at the expense of life's irreplaceable moments. This brings us to the next regret many encounter: working too much and missing out on what truly matters. Regret #2. Working too much and missing out on life. There is a great illusion that haunts many of us, a belief that our worth is tied to how much we achieve, how tirelessly we work, how productive we can be in the eyes of others. And so we labor, day after day, consumed by tasks and responsibilities, convincing ourselves that this is what life demands of us. But the truth, as time will inevitably show, is that what truly matters cannot be measured by hours worked or by professional success. Countless souls have looked back upon their lives, withered and worn by time, and realized that what they gained in career accomplishments, they lost in something far more precious: time with those they love, moments of joy, and the chance to live fully. They spent years chasing success, only to find that it was their relationships, their personal growth, and the small moments of happiness that slipped through their fingers. And once those moments are gone, they are gone forever. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely observed, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. We waste it on things that, in the end, have little bearing on what brings meaning to our lives. Time is our most valuable resource, and yet we often trade it away for things that hold little meaning in the grand scheme of existence. Picture a person lying on their deathbed, surrounded not by their work achievements, but by the faces of those they cherish. In that final hour, what will they wish for? Not another meeting, not another project completed, but one more laugh with their children, one more sunset with their partner, one more moment of stillness. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, when you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. These are the treasures of life, and yet, too often, we sacrifice them in the name of productivity. It is said, no one on their deathbed ever said they wished they had spent more time at the office. These words carry a profound truth. Life is not measured by what we produce, but by the depth of our experiences and the connections we forge with others. Work has its place, yes, but it should never consume the whole of our existence. So I ask you this: when was the last time you paused to truly be present, to laugh, to create, to connect with those who matter most? It is easy to be caught in the flow of endless tasks, but it takes wisdom and courage to draw boundaries, to say enough and to reclaim time for what feeds the soul. As Epictetus said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Let this remind us that the desires of the soul, companionship, growth, inner peace, are the true wealth that no amount of work can replace. Balance is not something we find, it is something we create. By setting bound, do not wait until the twilight of your years to realize that what truly matters has been waiting all along. Take action now, for the days are fleeting, and each one is a gift we must not waste. As Seneca said, begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. As we reflect on the importance of balancing work with life's most meaningful moments, we are reminded that it's not just about time spent, but who we spend it with. This brings us to another deep regret many face: the loss of meaningful relationships. Regret, #3. Not building meaningful relationships. In life, we often chase after success, wealth, and recognition. But the Stoics knew that true fulfillment comes not from external achievements, but from the quality of our inner life, and that includes the relationships we hold dear. Yet, how many times have we let important connections slip away, consumed by the busyness of daily life, only to realize in later years that we are surrounded by silence? As we grow older, the regret of not building meaningful relationships becomes painfully clear. Loneliness creeps in, not because we are alone, but because we have failed to nurture the relationships that matter. We let friendships drift. We let time pass without reaching out to loved ones, and we convince ourselves that there will always be time to reconnect, until there isn't. Isolation in later years is a harsh reality for many, but it is one that can be avoided. Epictetus wisely said, "We are not isolated beings. Our natures are bound together in mutual dependence. To live well, we must live in harmony with others, seeking connection, compassion, and understanding. Relationships, like all things, require attention, and they will wither if neglected. Reflect on this. Imagine reaching the end of your life, surrounded not by people who truly know you, but by acquaintances who barely understand your heart. The regret of letting real connections slip away is deep and enduring. But this need not be your fate. The solution is simple but profound. Make time. Make time for those who matter, for those who lift your spirit and see you for who you are. Build those bonds now, while the opportunity still exists. As Tony Robbins says, the quality of your life is the quality of your relationships. If we desire a life rich in meaning, we must prioritize those relationships that bring depth and purpose to our days. To the Stoic, friendship is a gift, a sacred bond that enriches our journey through life. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, men exist for the sake of one another. Teach them then, or bear with them. We are here to support and be supported, to guide and be guided. Do not wait until regret sets in to realize the importance of the people around you. Reach out today. Cultivate love and nurture your friendships. Life is fleeting, and the moments we share with others are what give it color and warmth. In the end, it is not our accomplishments or possessions that will matter most, but the relationships we've built, the memories shared, the love given, and the connections that stand the test of time. Make the choice now to prioritize the people in your life, for the time you invest in them will return to you in the form of deep fulfillment and joy. And when your days come to a close, you will find comfort, not in solitude, but in the presence of those who have walked beside you through life's journey. As we reflect on the importance of nurturing deep relationships that bring true meaning to our lives, we must also turn our attention to another foundation of security and peace, our financial future. This brings us to the next regret, not saving and planning for retirement. Regret #4, not saving and planning financially for retirement. Into the hustle and flow of life, we are often drawn to immediate desires, comforts, and pleasures, thinking that tomorrow will take care of itself. But to the Stoic mind, this is a dangerous illusion. There is nothing more short-sighted than living only for the present, without considering the future, especially when it comes to the delicate balance of our financial security. As Seneca said, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more. That is poor. Too often we see people reaching their 50s or 60s, burdened by financial stress, living day by day, uncertain of what the future holds. Why? Because they have not taken the time to plan, to save, and to prepare. They have spent with abandon, trusting that the days ahead will provide, only to find that time has not been their ally. This regret, the regret of not saving, not planning financially for retirement, is one that lingers painfully in the later years. The Stoic knows that nothing in life is guaranteed. We cannot control the tides of fortune, but we can prepare for them. To spend recklessly without regard for the future is to leave ourselves at the mercy of fate. But wise planning, living within our means, and saving for the years ahead, this is the path of reason and prudence. Do not save what is left after spending, Warren Buffett said, but spend what is left after saving. Imagine for a moment reaching a point in life where you should be able to rest, to enjoy the fruits of your labor, only to find yourself anxious, unable to find peace due to financial insecurity. This is not a fate any of us wish for. Yet, without careful preparation, it becomes all too common. The key is to start now, whether you are 25 or 50, and commit to a disciplined financial plan. Think of it like this. When you put aside what you can, you are not depriving yourself. You are securing your future. Just as you train the body for strength, just as you nurture relationships for emotional well-being, you must take care of your financial health for peace of mind. Epictetus once said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." By living within our means and making conscious decisions about how we spend and save, we ensure that our desires do not control us. True freedom in life comes from knowing that you have prepared yourself for whatever may come. And financial freedom in particular allows you to face the years ahead without fear, knowing that you have laid a foundation of security. So, ask yourself, are you willing to make sacrifices now for peace later? Are you willing to plan today for the life you want tomorrow? The Stoic path is one of thoughtful action and foresight. Begin now. Build a future that does not rely on hope, but on careful planning and wisdom. When the years roll by, you will not look back with regret, but with the deep satisfaction that you have prepared well, that you have lived wisely, and that the future holds no fear for you. Take the steps today, for the time to act is always now. As we consider the importance of securing our financial future, we must also turn inward and reflect on the emotional investments we make, particularly in the relationships that shape our lives. This brings us to another common regret: staying in unfulfilling relationships for far too long. Regret #5. Staying in unfulfilling relationships. There is a profound truth that many come to understand too late. The quality of our relationships defines the quality of our lives. Yet, how often do we allow ourselves to remain in relationships that no longer nourish us? Relationships that have become stagnant, toxic, or burdensome, not because they fulfill us, but because we fear change, we fear loneliness, or we simply fall into the comfort of familiarity. The Stoic mind teaches us to face life with courage, to confront uncomfortable truths rather than be imprisoned by them. Sometimes you have to let go to see if there was anything worth holding on to, as the saying goes. To stay in a relationship that no longer serves us is to imprison ourselves, and this, too, is a form of suffering. To remain in an unfulfilling relationship is to betray yourself. It is to turn away from the truth that your soul seeks growth, connection, and joy. Staying in a stagnant relationship out of habit or fear does not honor the life you have been given. It does not honor the person you are meant to become. Instead, it holds you back, keeping you in a state of emotional paralysis. The Stoics knew that true freedom comes not from avoiding difficult decisions, but from facing them head-on. So, I ask you, do you have the courage to confront what no longer serves you? Can you embrace the truth, however difficult, that certain relationships may need to change or even end for you to find true happiness? As Epictetus said, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. You cannot control the outcome of every relationship, but you can control whether you choose to remain in one that no longer enriches your life. It is not selfish to seek happiness. It is necessary for your growth. Address the issues in your relationships now. Have the conversations you've been avoiding. Set the boundaries that protect your peace. And, if needed, make the difficult decision to let go. The time will come when you will look back and either feel peace for having chosen wisely or regret for having remained out of fear. Let us live with courage, for life is too short to be spent in relationships that do not reflect the love and joy we are capable of giving and receiving. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, it is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. Do not wait until it's too late to live a life filled with meaning, purpose, and fulfilling relationships. The choice is always yours. Be brave, be honest, and seek the relationships that allow your soul to flourish. In the end, you will not regret the relationships you outgrew, but the ones you stayed in far too long. Choose wisely, for your happiness depends on it. As we reflect on the courage it takes to free ourselves from unfulfilling relationships, we must also summon that same bravery to pursue the dreams and passions we've long kept hidden. This leads us to the next regret: not taking enough risks or following the call of our true desires. Regret #6. Not taking enough risks or pursuing dreams. There is a silent ache that stirs in the hearts of those who look back on their lives and realize they have lived more cautiously than they lived fully. The Stoics teach us that fear is a natural part of life, but allowing fear to dictate our choices is the true failure. How often do we let the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, or the fear of the unknown keep us from chasing our dreams and taking the risks that could lead to our greatest fulfillment? In the end, we only regret the chances we didn't take, as Lewis Carroll once said. And as the years pass, the weight of those unpursued passions grows heavier. People often reach their later years with a lingering sorrow, wishing they had been braver, wishing they had followed the callings of their hearts instead of playing it safe. To live life in the shadow of what could have been is to imprison your soul in regret. The Stoic philosopher knows that life itself is uncertain, and the only true failure is never trying at all. Seneca reminds us, it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult. We create our own barriers by allowing fear to hold us back. The moments when we could have leaped, reached, or stretched beyond our comfort zones pass us by, and in their place, we are left with the haunting thought, what if? Think of this. What is it that you dream of doing, but fear has kept you from pursuing? Is it a new career, a creative passion, a deep yearning for something more in your personal life? The Stoics teach us that we cannot control the outcome, but we can control our courage to act. Fortune favors the brave, and so often it is those bold leaps into the unknown that bring us the richest rewards. Imagine reaching the end of your life, not wondering why you tried, but why you didn't. The regret of letting fear dictate your path is one of the most painful of all. Yet, it is avoidable. By taking calculated risks and choosing to pursue your dreams, you align yourself with the Stoic principle of living in accordance with your true nature. You honor the fire within you that seeks growth, passion, and fulfillment. Do not wait for the perfect moment to act. There is no such moment. Life will always present challenges, obstacles, and fears. But to the Stoic, these are simply opportunities to strengthen our resolve. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." How profound it is to realize that many of us live in a state of half-existence, never fully stepping into the life we are meant to lead because of fear. The solution is clear. Take the risk. Pursue the dream. Live boldly, with the understanding that failure is not the end, but merely a part of the journey. It is far better to fail at something you love than to succeed at something you resent. And if you succeed, how much sweeter will the victory be for having faced your fears head-on? Now is the time. Do not wait until regret is your only companion. Life is short, and the moments to pursue your dreams are fleeting. The Stoics understood that true peace comes from living in alignment with one's values and passions. Be brave enough to chase your dreams, for in doing so, you not only enrich your own life, but you inspire others to do the same. Take the chance now, and when you look back in your later years, you will do so with pride, knowing you lived fully, loved deeply, and pursued every dream with courage. The greatest risk is not in failing, but in never daring to try. As we reflect on the courage it takes to pursue our dreams and embrace the risks of life, we must also confront the deeper question: are we living each day with true intention, or are we letting time slip away unnoticed? This brings us to the next regret: letting time pass without purpose. Regret #7. Letting time slip away without purpose. Time, our most precious, yet most fleeting resource. It slips through our fingers like sand, often unnoticed until it's nearly gone. The Stoics held time in deep reverence, for they understood that each moment we waste is a moment we will never get back. How many people in their later years look back with the haunting realization that they allowed time to slip away without purpose, without intention? They lived passively, drifting from one distraction to the next, never truly anchoring themselves in a life of meaning. As Robert Burns so wisely put it, the purpose of life is a life of purpose. And yet, how many of us live in opposition to this truth? We let our days fill up with trivial tasks, mindless entertainment, and obligations that do not align with our core values. We postpone our dreams, telling ourselves there will be more time later. But what the Stoics teach us is that later is a dangerous illusion. Life is now. The clock is ticking. To live without purpose is to squander the gift of time. Imagine looking back on your life, not with pride, but with regret. Regret over the days, weeks, and years spent on things that held no significance to you. How many moments did we let pass by, not fully present, not fully engaged in what truly matters? The Stoics knew that the greatest tragedy is not death, but a life that was never truly lived. Marcus Aurelius urged us to stop acting as if you have 1,000 years to live. This is the call of the Stoic: to live with urgency, to live with purpose, and to ensure that every action, every decision aligns with our highest values. We must not let time slip away unnoticed, for it is the only thing we can never reclaim. Each day is a gift, and to waste it is to betray the life we have been given. Ask yourself now, are you living with intention, or are you letting time pass by without direction? Do your actions reflect your deepest values? Or are you caught up in distractions, waiting for some future moment to find your purpose? The Stoic knows that purpose is not something we find. It is something we create, moment by moment, through the choices we make. Every day is an opportunity to live in alignment with our true selves, to pursue goals that matter, to spend our time on things that enrich our souls. Living a life of purpose does not mean grand gestures or monumental achievements. It means waking up each day with the intention to live fully, to give our best to the people and pursuits that matter most. It means saying no to the things that drain our energy and rob us of our precious time. It means taking control of our lives and being the authors of our own story. Seneca reminds us, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. To live with purpose is to reclaim that time, to make every moment count. And in doing so, we not only avoid the regret of a life half-lived, but we also find the joy and fulfillment that come from knowing we are spending our days wisely, in alignment with our true nature. Do not let time slip away. Do not wait for a distant day to begin living the life you want. Start now with intention and clarity. Set goals that reflect who you truly are, and let every action you take bring you closer to the life you envision. In the end, you will not regret the days spent in purpose, but the ones you let drift away unnoticed. The time to live fully is now. Seize it, for it is yours. As we look back on the regrets we've explored, the regrets of neglecting our health, working too much, and missing out on life, failing to nurture meaningful relationships, not planning financially, staying in unfulfilling relationships, letting fear keep us from pursuing our dreams, and allowing time to slip by without purpose. We are reminded of one thing: regret is the echo of a life not fully lived. But here's the truth. You now have the power to avoid these regrets. The decisions you make today can shape the life you will reflect on tomorrow. You don't need to wait until it's too late to realize that change is within your reach. Start by making small, intentional choices that align with your true values, whether it's focusing on your health, setting boundaries at work, or taking the brave step to pursue a long-held dream. Let this be your call to action. Don't wait until regret weighs heavy on your heart. Take charge of your life now, while the opportunity is still yours. It's never too late to make powerful changes that will bring you peace and fulfillment in the years ahead. Reflect deeply on what matters most, and start taking those first steps toward a life of purpose today. Live a life of purpose, health, and happiness. It's never too late to start. Let these words be your guide, your daily reminder that every moment you have is a chance to rewrite your story. Time moves swiftly, but as long as you're breathing, you have the ability to live boldly, without regret. The future you want begins now. Seize it.